Job, career challenges, personal problems, relationship issue. When AI can't solve your problems, try a human approach. Ayyo, contact Loy Machedo. All right, in this video, I'll give you interview tips for youngsters. Okay, it's different for youngsters, intermediates, and senior people because obviously the content differs and how you present yourself absolutely matters. So, this is exclusively for young job seekers, college graduates, freshers, junior executives. Okay, the previous video that I had put out was Ultimate Resume Tips. That is video 8702. I'll put the link down below so you can refer that. Now, this is part 2 of that because obviously after you made the resume and if in case you get called for an interview, you should be prepared. So I've written down a couple of tips. If you have questions, feel free, comment down below. And if any one of you would like to add anything extra, feel free. It always helps. Like I said, I'm not doing this for views. I don't think very many people are interested in this. But this is for those people who cannot afford my services or afford, let's say, a professional coach. At least you have, somewhere where you can refer. Just one thing which I want to tell you is I don't follow the cliche standard advice of, the goody two shoes. I believe in being realistic because I don't know why, but whenever I check content online, most of it is seriously garbage. Okay, so I'm not saying this is gold, but this is very practical. Remember, I've been doing this for nearly 20 plus years now. Okay, so let's start. And remember, any questions, comment down below. So the first thing is, after you have given your resume, it goes through the receptionist or it goes through the first line of defense. The junior person sees your CV, they sort it out. Then it goes to the second line where they see, okay, you got 4,000 CVs. From there, we prefer these 50 CVs. And from there, the manager will say, just give me the top 10 best. He'll tell his secretary. Okay. So once you have crossed that threshold and now you are selected to be called for an interview, nowadays, what they tend to do is they have a pre-screening which they will ask you to either come on Google Meets, Skype is no longer there, or Zoom. And what they're trying to do is ascertain the person that we are reading about on the sheet of paper. Is it more or less the same? So when they ask you to come on Zoom or they ask you on Google Meets, remember, there are a lot of fine points that matter. Namely, number one is your presentability. Are you presentable? Make sure that you place the camera, like you've seen, the camera is here, my books are at the background. This was carefully engineered in a way where it's simple, but I don't have to adjust the camera. Now, if you're not a YouTuber like me or not someone who makes daily content and you're called for an interview, just make sure that if you have your smartphone or your smart device or laptop, whatever, it is kept at, the face level. You can keep a couple of books down. You can raise it up, like you can have one of these stands. This one is expensive. Okay, you can have a simple, durable stand. Just make sure that it is properly fit. Now, keep in mind that if in case you're using earphones, that it is not distracting. Some people prefer to have overhead. Some people prefer to have in-ears. Some people prefer to have the wired ones. The only problem with the wired ones is if it rubs across your clothes, it creates a little bit of problem. And if in case you don't have headphones or earphones, make sure that the place where you're speaking and communicating with the person, there is no disturbance, babies crying, dogs barking, people making a mess. So just make sure. Now, if in case you're in a locality where there are children playing outside or there are dogs barking and all that, go into, let's say, a bedroom or a place which is covered with a curtain, nice lighting. And if in case you do not have a library, just make sure that the background is, at least plain white, clean. Please do not have clothes hanging at the background. Don't have marks. Don't have stupid stuff. Some people even prefer to do it in the kitchen, but then it should be quiet. And remember, what you do is, after you've set it up, take a video. Okay, take a video and just have a mock session, and then transfer the video to a laptop or a computer and look at it large screen and just see, okay, outside, is there anything that is distracting or not nice? Make sure that plenty of lighting is there. With regards to your appearance, please, I want you to assume that you are going for let's say, a VVIP function, or you're going for a very important party, or you're going to enjoy with your friends. You have to look smart. Don't don't be cheap, and don't be lazy about it, and don't overdo it. Okay, like some of you might actually wear a suit and all that. Now, even though it's okay to wear a suit, and the person who was taking the interview, he will get the idea, okay, this guy really wants to make an impression. It's okay to wear a shirt and a tie. Okay, shirt and a tie. If you want to wear a suit, fine. Just make sure you're comfortable. Make sure that also mentally prepare that it can be long. So make sure your phone is charged. The AC, it should be there. And yes, be mentally prepared also if in case there's electricity goes out, or the internet router, suddenly internet is not there. Even the phone being charged, that is very, very important. Okay. So, and yes, it's very important that your other apps that you have on the phone are either mute, or the notification doesn't come. Imagine you're chatting with someone or talking to someone, and ting, something pops up or some nonsense. Just be careful of that. And the last thing you need is, when you're talking to someone, there is interruptions. Okay. So I know quite a lot to digest just with a video call. So after what they're trying to ascertain when they have a video call is, okay, is this candidate for real? It's like, you saw this profile of a girl on Tinder or any of the dating sites, and you're not sure, is this photoshopped? Is she for real? Can she talk properly? Is something suspicious? So you're just getting to know each other. Remember, you're not trying to impress. These words, keep it in mind. You're not trying to impress, you're trying to express. Okay. So practice sitting down, practice keeping it on the table, practice speaking. It's good to have a kind of permanent setup, but if you don't have a permanent setup, make sure that the setup that you have can easily be put, and you know how much is the height, how many books, what is the height, where should you be seated, and have a couple of sessions. At least talk to, let's say, your friend or someone, and have a mock session, so you come to know, okay, these are the things I need to keep in mind. So after the preliminary session is over, in terms of the Zoom meeting, now they would call you for and also keep this in mind. There are many people who keep a script, like for example, I have an iMac. Now, you can see me here, but you can't see, if I put something here, you can't see it. If I were to put something here, you can't see it. Some people put post-it notes. Some people put, like, they open up a Google Doc, or they put a sticker with a document. And interviewers are aware of that. And remember this, if you are not a professional or seasoned speaker, the minute you move your eyes and you look and you're reading, even one or two lines, they know for a fact that he's reading something. Okay. I'm just making you aware of this. It's very easy for me when I talk to someone on video. I know where their head is at and where they're looking. And if it is a woman, guaranteed she can make out where you're looking. And please keep in mind, if she's a woman and she is wearing something sexy, or you can see a little bit of cleavage and all that, don't see you're looking like this, don't suddenly look there. Trust me, they can catch you in seconds. They know where you're looking. All right. So let's assume you cross the next barrier. Now they called you for a face-to-face interview. When you're going for a face-to-face interview, there are a couple of pointers I want you to keep in mind. Okay. Now, see, the AC is too cool for me. So what I'm doing is, you can see, okay, I was not apologetic about it. And if you feel too cool or too hot and you need to put it on, just casually just do it. Or you can say, excuse me, sir, just 1 second. Yeah, it was too cool. So that's perfectly fine. Okay. So now, if they have called you for an interview, wherever that is, their location, their office premises, these are the tips I'll give you. Number one is, don't take it for granted that you can reach there on time. There can be a lot of variables. There can even be an incident where someone drops something on you, or someone dirty just rubs something and your shirt can be dirty. I always believe in taking a man bag. That is, one of those bags that I have. Mine is more, wait, let me show you. Mine is more kind of rugged. You can have something that is formal. Okay. In that, you can keep your phone, toiletries, your wallet. I'm not a big fan of people putting in their wallets and their ass is swollen up, or the phones and their pockets look like he has put his food, his sandwich, his house, his keys. It shouldn't look like it's bulging, because it's very distracting, especially if it's near your crotch area and it's really bulging, then it looks stupid. Okay. Keep it separate. And in your toiletries, you can have your toiletries there. It can be anything from a mouthwash to a hand sanitizer to a towel, especially if you're traveling. Um, the size is all dependent on you. And like I said, when you're going for an interview, if you know that there is a risk of something dirty coming on a shirt, take a spare shirt. It always helps. And if you have a car, you can keep it hanging. But if you don't have a car, just make sure that it's easily open. You can wear it. Not necessary, but just as a precaution. Okay. Now, when you go to the venue, make sure that you reach there. Thumb rule, which I follow, is 30 minutes in advance, half an hour. And before you even go to the office, go just check out if there's a McDonald's or there is an outlet where you can wash your face, get freshen up, just check, okay, am I perfectly ready? Oh, with regards to people with hair, I always recommend I have a military haircut, short for men. Why? Because it's easy to manage. If you have all that hairy, long hair and oily, sometimes it doesn't come across nice. Grooming is mandatory. You have to look like you're going for your own wedding. Just make sure that, go to a barber, just get a blade and, just make sure everything looks perfect. It always is helpful if you're smart. Okay. Perfume, don't overdo it. Make sure that you don't have sweat patches. It is so embarrassing when someone comes with a wet sweat patch. For me, it's a perfect rejection straight away. Don't overdo on the perfume. And I hope you know how to use the perfume. If you put it on your shirt and your shirt is white and the perfume is not kind of expensive or it's very oily based, it will leave a stain. It'll look like yellow. And if you put, underarm should always be on skin. It should not be on the shirt. So if you were to put something where the stain can be seen, it'll look like it's dirty. Okay, keep that in mind. So if you were to go to, let's say, a restaurant or a hotel or somewhere where you can freshen yourself dry, make yourself look fresh, you're well and ready. Then once you go to the venue, once you go to the place where the interview is, introduce yourself. The receptionist will always ask you, maybe she'll ask you for a copy of your resume. So make sure that you have extra. You can take a leather bound folder, which would help. And in that leather bound folder, make sure there is a notepad, there's a pen. Some people prefer to take an iPad. That depends how tech savvy you are. But don't take it to impress. Take it only if you're using it. Okay? Because if you have never used it, it shows in seconds. Just like when you use your phone, you can make out that you're using it every time. If you're not going to use your iPad, don't simply take it to show, I'm a high-tech guy. A leather-bound folder with a notepad and a pen is good enough, because, and keep copies of your CV if they ask. Um, Once you're seated there and you're waiting, don't pull out your phone and start looking at your WhatsApp messages, Facebook messages, chatting. In fact, don't even take phone calls, because remember, people are watching, and most probably they might have a CCTV where the boss or the owner is kind of looking, he's already paying attention who are the people who are there. If you do want to take a book, that is self-improvement book, or you can take that, um, because you know, you want to, you can't just sit there doing nothing looking around. And keep in mind, the person might ask, what book were you reading? Okay, don't take a newspaper so big. Okay, take a book and make sure, and here again, don't take it just to impress. If you're never a person who reads a book, don't take a book there just to show I'm an intellect. If there's nothing else to do, just sit down and wait. Now, there is another option whereby you can listen to a podcast or something worthwhile. Some people prefer music, although I would recommend you against listening to music. And keep in mind that you can be asked, what were you listening to? There are possibilities. Okay. Don't fiddle with your phone, because it'll clearly show you are a very distracted character. In fact, I would recommend, don't have anything, just sit and wait. Okay. Um, Make sure that you don't have to use the restroom or the toilet way too often. So for that, you'll have to control what you eat before. Um, Once you're there, just mentally prepare what are the questions he might ask you, and what you have written on your CV, and what is the job description. Okay. Now, with regards to, there are two parts now I have to cover here. One is your mental, what you have to keep in mind mentally. The other one is your preparation. Now, these are the bits for preparation. Uh, Even before you go for the job interview, make sure that you have someone who can guide you, who has the maturity, the finesse, the experience of being in a senior managerial role or leadership role, and ask them advice or guidance on what you're not sure about. Ask them, what should I keep in mind? And if possible, have them take your interview beforehand. Okay, it always helps. Do a couple of mock sessions. With regards to, if you don't have anybody there, then take a video camera, same. You talk, give the question, and you answer. Okay. That is number one. Second one is, which I tell people, there is absolutely no excuse for not knowing your resume. The first part is, make sure that the resume content is proper. And that is why most probably you'll be called for the interview. And after that, you have to memorize your resume word for word, word for word. What do I mean by that? If I were to ask you, tell me about your resume, you should know from beginning to the end. It's like you literally studied for an exam. If I ask you, what is your experience? You have to give me exactly what is written there. If I ask you, what are the 5 points that you mentioned below your experience? You have to tell me word for word. If I ask you, what is at the last bit of your resume? You have to tell me. If I cherry pick something from in the middle, you'll be like, sheesh, do you have to actually memorize? Yes. It shows how badly you want the job. Okay. Now, when you are giving the answers, don't sound like a robot. My experience is, I was working in Wipro as a junior sales, and my responsibilities were blah. Don't look like you are struggling to remember, and don't look like you have memorized. Have a normal conversation like how I'm having with you. For instance, if the same points that I said, say, I was working in Wipro as a junior salesperson, and some of my key responsibilities were. So you see, I'm making it as natural as possible. Okay, so memorization of the resume is mandatory whenever I deal with my students and clients. You have to know in and out everything. The next part that you have to memorize is about you, because you're trying to sell yourself. If you don't know everything about you and you're struggling to think what is next, then you have not done your job. oh, you will not believe how many people, when I've asked them, tell me something about yourself. Sir, my name is Ravi Kumar. I graduated from this college, um, and I specialize in so and so. I have 6 months experience, and yeah, that's it. So in less than a minute, you have finished your introduction. That is so stupid. You should have 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, and 7 minute introduction. And for that, you have to write down word for word what you're going to say. You'll be like, what do I talk for 7 minutes? What do you talk? That is a question you have to ask yourself. The template that I normally give youngsters, since they don't know what to talk, always remember, look at yourself like a story, like a movie. Okay, think you're going from the time you are born, schooling, college, then specialization, first job. Okay, then you can speak about what you like and your hobbies in the end. And finally, with regards to the job, I give you a template. I hope you have written this down. Remember, school, college, specialization, first job, then something about you, and finally, why do you fit into the job profile? Okay. Now, for this, you have to write down word for word. You have to write down, okay, schooling. Which school did you go? What? Don't give them a boring story and don't drag it. Sir, once upon a time, I was. No. And at the same time, don't have it. Sir, I studied in Gopal Krishna school and there were 30 students. No, just make it interesting. Because when the person is taking an interview, he should like you. If you don't have the likability, if you're nice, he will listen to you. If you're boring, he'll switch off. He'll be like, oh, sheesh. And also keep in mind, before you, maybe he met 5 people. After you have, he has another 5. So he has so many things on his head. Maybe he had a bad day. Maybe he's under stress. Maybe he is, he just wants to finish this interview quickly and choose a candidate. Also, I forgot a very important point is expect the unexpected. And what do I mean by this? Maybe the guy who's taking an interview is a total asshole. Maybe the guy who's taking an interview is going to ask you tough questions. Maybe the guy who's taking an interview has planned out that he's going to give you a very stressful experience. Maybe the guy also, this is another strategy, is going to act like your friend, going to make you feel very comfortable because he wants you to open up, but he's not your friend. You understand? He'll be like, hey, it's so nice to see you and all that. He'll make you very comfortable. And then you'll feel, very good. I'll be myself. No, that is where he'll actually catch you with your faults. So expect the unexpected. All right. So I told you, speak about you. Then remember, there are always these standard questions which people ask. It's like, tell me something about yourself. Give me your weakness. Give me your strengths. Why should I consider you for this job? And is there any question you'd like to ask me? These are the 5 questions which are standard. I hope you have written them down. And remember, you have to write down the answers for these questions. Tell me something about yourself, weaknesses, strengths. Why should I consider you for this position? And what questions would you ask me? The reason why they ask you these questions is if the guy was busy, he didn't have time to go through your resume, and he just wants you to fill up small talk and kill time. So what he'll do is he'll ask you the question and then he'll go through your resume. Okay, and then okay. He's not paying attention to you. He's just letting it go, and he's searching for what to ask you. That means he was busy. He didn't go through your CV. Okay, but that does not mean you do not work hard to give him worthwhile question. Make sure that your preparation is perfect. I'll give you the bits what you have to answer in each one. Let me finish the first one, the previous one. So the questions are 5, which are standard. And then there are questions. This is generally not for college freshers, but this is for the next level, that is junior executives. They'll ask you questions related to the job responsibility, job expertise, job experience. They'll not ask you leadership-based questions because you're still junior. Okay, they know that you don't have experience. And he might ask you, why do you want this job? Don't give them cliche and don't give them bullshit. No, sir, I want to this. And if you give them answers like, sir, I want to further my career, and those are very cliche, those are very boring. Give them something that really shows you're interested not only in the job, in the position, and maybe in the company, but avoid bluffing. Don't say, sir, it was my dream to work in this company. No, sir, I love this job. You have to be authentic. Now, I wish I could give a standard answer for all the people. You can't do that, but it's not humanly possible, because if you try to memorize something that doesn't match you, it will not work. Okay. So, he'll ask you about the job role, he'll ask you things, what you have done. And remember, every answer that you give has to be in reference to the job profile. Okay. This is another side point that I'll give you is, take a notepad, take a pen or a pencil, whatever, jot down as he's talking, jot it down. Okay, jot it down. And he'll wonder, like, what are you doing? Just say, sir, I like to, as you're speaking, I like to pay attention. This is optional, huh? This is not mandatory. And uh, please don't do this. If he asks you, okay, can you tell me something about it? Don't wait for him to finish and just blurt out like you're dying to answer. Let him finish what he has to say. Take a deep breath and then decide what you're going to say. But please don't drag it. Okay. Why I'm asking you to write down, what happens is after you finish the interview, you can review what was asked and you can recollect what was told to you. And your job is to improve the next time. Okay. Because remember, every interview is an experience. Better to go for more interviews than for one once in a long time. Okay. Write everything down. Make sure that your content is second nature. Practice. Perfect practice makes you perfect. Okay. Remember that much. And one very important criteria is videotape yourself before the interview. And after you finish the interview, take your phone and share what was actually said at the interview. What are the answers that you give, and then review it once you go home. I know you must be thinking like, oh, goddamn, there's so many points. Yes, you want to get a job, you want to be competitive, you want to stand out from the rest. These are the advanced level skills. Okay, this nobody's going to tell you. Now, the standard 5 questions, which are fillers, or for him to just have a lazy approach instead of going through a CV, he'll ask you, tell me something about yourself. I give you the timeline how you can follow. This is only for juniors, by the way, not for senior people. The next one, which is a very uncomfortable question, is tell me about your weakness. Now, here, people, they don't know what to say. Like, what do I tell about my weakness? And please, please, please don't make this mistake of giving hidden strengths. This is where it puts off people. If someone asks you, tell me about your weakness, please don't say this one. I work so hard, sir. I literally collapse on the floor. I work so hard that there's no balance in my life. Or for me, work is so important, sir. Nothing else matters. When people tell me this, I tell them, say, listen, I didn't ask you for a hidden strength to market and sell yourself. I'm having a very genuine conversation with you. What is your weakness? You're not a perfect human being. Tell me your weakness. So if you have a person like me who takes an interview, you will get jacked. We'll hold you by the nuts. So now, where weakness is concerned, don't say something that will make you an automatic rejection. Don't say, sir, I love wasting time, or I'm addicted to my smartphone. Sir, I lose. And please never say this, sir, I lose my cool when people are not dedicated, or I have very less patience. Man, you're a bloody junior. You're a small little baby. And you're telling him like, I lose my patience. Then fuck off. You're not fit for the job. Or I want perfection. Why? You're not bloody perfect. What are you talking? Yeah. So stop. So now you'll be like, then what do I say is my weakness? Hey, your first weakness is lack of experience, right? Yeah, you don't have experience. So tell them that you don't have experience. See, the very fact that I had to give you this answer, it clearly shows you're not aware. Really shows your lack of maturity. So first one, say about the experience part and be specific. Don't give a generic answer. So I don't have experience. If 10 guys, all of them say the same thing, then it becomes cliche. Imagine if 10 people who are going for the same interview watch this video, then finish. No? If all of them say, sir, my weakness is lack of experience, then I want you to dig deep in terms of your personality in relation to the work and find out, is it a qualification, is it an expertise, is it a skill, or in the job description is it something small, not major, that you don't know. Okay, so weaknesses should be based on the job profile and with regards to your personality related to the job, but shouldn't be something very serious. Don't say that, for example, if you're applying for a job for as an accountant and you tell him, sir, I don't know accountancy, I failed in accounts, then it's bye bye. The third question in the series of question, this one is, even though it's easy, it's the hardest that I found people, they just can't answer. They get very uncomfortable. Tell me about your strengths. Almost everybody, they're like, what do I say? Dedicated, uh, you know, am I dedicated? Am I focused? Am I ambitious? Am I this? Am I that? See, when you talk about your strengths, keep in mind you will be compared to other people. Okay, knowingly or unknowingly. And if you toot your horn in a way that is not acceptable, it becomes embarrassing. Just imagine you're going on a date with a female and you say, "Oh, my strengths, I'm very handsome, man. Girls, they go berserk when they see me." And then if the girl looks like, "Are you mad?" So, in terms of strengths, avoid giving superlatives that you're the ultimate. At the same time, avoid giving something general. Sir, I'm hardworking, I'm focused. Okay. Think of something unique that makes you unique. Okay. Now, obviously, I wish I could give you one that could be used for everyone. The cliche ones is I'm a fast learner, I pick up things. But what is it that makes you unique in terms of strength? So maybe you can give them specific examples. Here's one clue: specific examples in your college where you achieved something and your senior teacher, professor complimented you on it and said, "This is the one skill that you have." But don't be too proud about it. Don't tell him, "Sir, he said, I'm an amazing leader. I will one day become as big as Ambani or all that." No, you don't. Just chill. Just say that, for example, if I were to give this as an example, just say so in my college days, when there were events to be organized, I was always given the in charge to organize the event, make sure that the proper people were there, the invites were given, the vendors, suppliers, they were booked, confirmed. I was looked, I was asked to supervise my friends or my schoolmates to make sure everything was done proper. And I was coordinating with the senior people. And before the event, I would always make sure everything is prim and proper. I prepare the report. So here, by sharing this story or this incident, you're giving him examples of saying that, oh, I can be dependable. I have leadership skills. I know organizational skills. So you get what I'm saying. Okay. The fourth last question, which is, why should I consider you for the position, is by far the hardest question to answer. Okay. Why? I'll tell you. When someone asks you, why should I consider you for this job? Keep in mind that he may have had 5 people before you, he'll have another 5 after you. And most probably, the guys he's interviewing are smarter than you, more educated than you, better than you. Maybe they have more experience than you. Maybe they have a godfather. So, what will you say if, let's say, you have 1 year experience and another guy has 2 year experience? If you tell him, "Sir, I have 1 year experience," then obviously he'll say, then that guy has 2 years. If you say, "Sir, I have a degree," the other guy will say, "I have masters." Finished. If you say, sir, I have a proven track record, the other guy will say, sir, my CEO will give you a personal recommendation that I'm the best candidate, my ex-CEO. So it comes down to, why do you actually believe you are the right person for the job? This one takes a lot of soul searching. This one takes a lot of effort. And giving vague, generic statements like, I'm a hardworking, sir, I'm a quick learner, and all, will not fly. So you have to be convinced of your own answer. Remember, with everything else being normal, if the guy is better than you, why should you get the job? And I work with my students, or I work with my clients when we have to get this. Why should I consider you for the position? Because everyone is unique. Okay. I'll give you one example. Maybe it'll help you get some creativity flowing. Um, my previous client, okay, when he was asked, why should you be considered for the job? Uh, After listening to all his experience that he worked with this company for 2 years, we were able to pick up specific instances, okay, where he displayed leadership skills, where there was a problem, where he was able to give a solution, and where he was able to work independently. Nothing over the top, nothing highly exaggerated, a very simple incident. Now, the guy who was taking an interview did not stand up and give him a standing ovation. Wow. But he was able to articulate the very fact that he was reliable, dependable. Uh, he had shown leadership under pressure, and he would, even if he didn't know the answer, he would make sure that he would get the answer. So that in itself helped articulate, okay, this guy knows his job. And I made sure that he connected it to the job vacancy that was there, because it should match. Last, if not the least, the final question that they'll ask you is, do you have any questions you'd like to ask me? Over here, please don't sound like a smart aleck by saying that, so what are your goals for the company for the next 5 years? So what is the strategy for sales and market expansion? Listen, stop impressing anyone. He will just look at you and like, boy, listen, chill. Your pop or mom or your colleague of yours told you to ask me this. Don't try to oversell yourself. If you really don't have a question, don't ask. Generally, what I tell people is, this is a standard one, is, sir, about this job vacancy, when will you be finalizing a candidate, by what date, and is it all right I call up the receptionist to follow up, or how would you like me to follow up to know whether this position is closed, or are they still considering the candidate? So over here he'll be like, okay, you don't need to follow up, but we will decide, say, in a week or 2 weeks. And then you ask him, sir, is it the 16th of this month, or say 17th? He'll give you the date. And so at least you ask him a question that really matters. Don't ask him, sir, how was my interview? How did I perform? Which are the areas I should improve? He is not there to sit and mentor you. Like, do you seriously think he's going to tell you, listen, you messed up on the job. You're not at all the perfect candidate. I wanted to get rid of you. You are boring. He's not going to give you all this. He's just going to be diplomatic and say, you are good. Let's see. He'll just be, it's like you asking him, tell me all the tricks of your trade, or show me the final selection. He's not going to tell you that. Last, if not the least, these are the final bits that I'll give you. And by the way, I hope this video is helping you, because I'm giving a lot of content here. Just let me know if videos like this do help you. Now, what are the final bits? I'll just give you randomly. Number one is, don't think you're smarter than him. Like I always tell, don't teach your father how to fuck, please. Okay, you cannot be smarter than him. Don't go with that mentality, or you will lose 100%. Don't think you can fool him. You cannot. Like you can't fool your seniors, like you can't fool your father. People can see through you. Don't oversell yourself. Then you are, moving towards failure, because overselling yourself means your expectations will be way too high. You may get selected, but then you'll get subsequently terminated, because you'll be like, this guy fooled me. Do not lie. Never lie. If you don't know, don't know. Don't bullshit. In some cases, they can even take legal action against you if you lie. If you don't know, say you don't know. Say, sir, I'm not too sure of the answer. And then after that, make sure before the interview finishes, sir, that question that you gave me, which I didn't know, what was the right answer? Or if you gave the answer and you're not sure it was right, so my answer, was it right? Depending on your rapport with that person, he will open up. Don't impress, never impress, learn to express. Express is ability to communicate and connect. Don't try these, rapport building exercises like if he moves with this hand, you'll also move with this hand. If he scratches here, you'll also scratch. That rapport building exercise, unless you have experience, does not work. Keep in mind, most probably you will not get selected, which is perfectly fine. So that eliminates the stress of wanting to be perfect. Always keep in mind, the chances of you getting selected are very remote, very, very remote. So when you go with that attitude that I'm not going to get this job, and this is what I tell my students and clients, think you'll never get the job. Think they're just having a practice session. So there, go and give it your best. And when you don't have that kind of expectation, there's less pressure and you do well. Okay. Remember, it's within that 1 hour or 2 hours that they have to decide whether you're the right candidate. And never get overly comfortable. Just because he spoke to you for 2 hours, it doesn't mean that, yes, he's going to give you the job. There have been so many interviews that I've gone and trained other people. They have spoken for 2 hours, 3 hours. They thought they are the best of friends, only for them to never call them up, follow up. Or if they did follow up, the job salary that they offered is pretty pathetic. Oh, yeah, this is also there. What salary do you expect? Given that you're a junior, remember, it doesn't matter. Get your foot in the door. Let him offer you whatever he has to offer. Even if it's an intern, even for free, the experience matters more than what you're earning, especially at the junior level. Mid and senior is totally different. Okay, please don't use this over there. Yeah, the all other bits are, don't have jewelry, don't have gimmicks, don't show your tattoos. I hope you don't have. Freshen yourself. Make sure that your mouth is not smelling. If it's lunchtime, don't eat something smelly and come there. Just don't eat afterwards. Don't go hungry and sound desperate. Don't stare at people, especially if the reception is beautiful or whatever. You're not there to make friends. Don't talk with other people. Anyone talks to you, talk to the point. Don't pick up magazines if there are there. Sit, just be in focus. And last, if not the least, the final bit that I'll tell you is, after the interview is over, make sure you do what I told you. Take down the notes or take your phone, record what had happened, what were the questions, and then go home and write down and ask yourself, how could I have done better? And if you have a mentor, discuss with him so that he can guide you and you will be prepared for the next round. So I hope all these pointers helped you. I've literally spoken for 45 minutes. Just imagine the amount of content that was given. And bookmark this page so that if in case one day you have to refer it or you have to share it with someone, it'll help you guys as well. All right. Good, bad, ugly. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Any doubts? I'd love to hear from you. You guys take care.